Today I want to discuss this important and heavy topic that is actually emotional abuse and boundary violation that can be destroying a sensitive person's mental health and physical health, cause them PTSD symptoms and panic attacks and all of that because they have been victims of narcissistic abuse in the past, bullying, and these kinds of heavy incidents that have been abusive, like for example sexual harassment or sexual assault, physical abuse, threatening, and all of those things, stalking maybe even, because usually these bullies stalk their victims. They do not leave their victims alone. Like if you're, for example, dealing with a narcissistic person in a romantic way, or your parent who is a narcissist, they will not easily leave you alone. They think that they are entitled to having access to you, no matter how much they have hurt you and attacked you. They think that they are entitled to gaining power and control over you. Like they can just walk into your home, for example, and just yell at you and things like that. So this is deeply traumatizing. This is psychological abuse. And of course, if it's physical, then you have the bruises and things like that. And so it is no joke, and it is not a piece of cake to be healing from these issues. So that is why it's so important for me to be talking about this, because all those years of my life, I was silenced, I was alone. Nobody in my life was understanding and addressing these issues. And I could not basically trust anybody. I could not open up to anybody. And still, because, if I've tried to open up to someone, still it seems like it's still impossible. Yes, of course, I've noticed a lot of like-minded people online, for example, on social media. Luckily, yes, it's a joy. I'm grateful for every single post and video that also resonate with me and my energy and my life story. Yes, of course. But ultimately, I could not find the specific kind of help that I would have needed. So I've had to do a lot of work by myself. And so this is why I need to be talking and sharing this to help my people who resonate with me and my life story, who are like me. You're sensitive, you're kind, you're trusting, you're open-hearted, you're a giving, a loyal, a sensitive person. You're easily emotional, you think a lot of things, you feel a lot in a day. And so as empaths and highly sensitive people, Earth Angels, Starseeds, chosen ones, we don't have easy lives, and we can be attacked all the time. So we have to have tools and ways to be able to cope and manage our daily lives. So I'm here to help with these issues, and if you need more help and support, check out my services, book a one-on-one call with me, or join my coaching program if you are interested in a longer commitment that you would be working with me one-on-one to be able to heal your life and to be able to be yourself and be creating your life your way, the way it's supposed to be. So get in touch. Also, I have my self-help book on Amazon that will also help you immediately if you need help and support immediately in an honest, empathetic way. So it will give you that. And of course, I have also my freebies, like my free ebook and my self-care checklist, for example, that are completely free, and they will give you tips on how to take care of yourself and, what you need to hear right now if you are right now in panic mode, alone, and you don't know what to do, and you don't have anyone to support you. So because I've gone through that many, many times, too many times in my life, that I was alone in panic and pain. So I don't want that for my clients, so I'm here to help. So yeah, the fact, this is what I wanted to talk about right now, is that the feeling and the fact when you feel like you cannot be yourself, you cannot go anywhere, you're not respected anywhere, you're not listened to anywhere, you're not loved, you're not cared for anywhere. So it's like you cannot trust people at all. And people are just horrible to you. A lot of this has to do with a society that really seems to have become very selfish, very narcissistic, that these immature narcissistic people just are everywhere, and devil is just being happy because it is its goal that, you know, that people are just destroying one another and all of that. So anyway, I'm against all of that, and us earth angels, we are the peaceful warriors. We are against these kind of things, and we are fed up of all the wrongdoing, of all the abuse and bullying in general. So I just want to share this with you, that, you know, a lot of this has to do with also the false assumptions that people have, that there's a lot of cyberbullying, you know, bullying happening online or offline, and, you know, it usually stems from this insecurity within those bullies, and that they are projecting their own pain onto the victim and their own false assumptions, that, you know, things are not communicated, things are not said out loud clearly, things are not, you know, communicated in a respectful way, like a smart adult communicates. So they assume their false assumptions to be true, and it becomes emotional abuse. It becomes bullying. When, for example, if you are on social media, they are writing these bully comments under your posts or videos, that they are calling you names, for example, which is of course clear bullying, clear gaslighting, to make you question yourself, to make you think that you are, for example, fat or ugly, or like you have no human worth, like you have no reason to be alive, you know, because that's the goal, is to steal your health and your peace and your life, and ultimately to take your own life. But then there is this, that they write these comments that they're assuming false things about you intentionally, like you are not qualified enough to do what you do, for example, or you are not allowed to say something, you're not allowed to sound in a certain way, you're not allowed to look a certain way, like how you dress or what your makeup is like is somehow wrong, for example. You know, they want to strip you off from your personal power. I was just talking about this last night in a short video, but I wanted to address this even more a bit, because this topic has been coming to me in a strong way lately, that when people, you know, project their own false assumptions onto you, and ultimately it is a reflection of them and their issues, their wounds, their immaturity, their trauma. They have no emotional intelligence, you know, clearly. When they act like that, they are just coming from their own immature needs. Their inner child is screaming, I want a mommy, I want a daddy, I want attention, I want validation, I want sex, I want money, I want this, I want that. And they are using you to gain those things. But of course, it's crazy if they don't even know you. They don't know your story. They don't know anything about you. They just see you, for example, online, and they reach out to you, and, you know, via message or they write this comment that they want your attention and your energy. Like, for example, men harassing you, sexually harassing you, wanting your attention, love and care, empathy, compassion, sex and money. You know, that's very typical when you are a sensitive woman. that you feel like you are sexually harassed wherever you go. That these men are just bombing you with their messages and emails, for example. It is just crazy, but it is bullying. It is emotional abuse. It is coercive control because, again, they are coming from their needs. They are not considering you and your boundaries and your needs and who you are as a person in that situation. They just see your photo and they're like, oh, I want that woman's energy. I want that woman to give me attention and validation and money and love and care. And I see that this woman is very sensitive and open and vulnerable and giving and loving and maybe trusting, and oh, she looks so kind, her energy is so kind and open. Let me just message or type this comment to this woman if she would reply to my email and my comments, and maybe give me her phone number and we can message on WhatsApp, and then I can start to demand her money from her slowly, or sex from her. I can force sex from her because she's so trusting and kind and giving and open-hearted. So let me try if I can have access to her and her heart and her soul and her energy, and I can take that away from her, and let me just try to get this satisfaction and pleasure because I'm so horny and I need to have sex, and I want some money. I need some money. I need a woman to love me. I need a beautiful, sensitive woman, a kind woman to give me everything that they have to give because I want that. I need that. So it's like they are coming from this point of view. And if you have been experiencing this too many times, I totally feel you. I totally, understand what it feels like because I have also gone through this. So many men online have been messaging me like, be my sugar baby, or like, all of these scam emails, scam phone calls, for example. Even today, apparently here in Finland, we are having these scam calls that come from Austria or Great Britain. At least the number is showing to me that it's either one, and there were actually news about this, which I happened to see and read, that there was a warning that these are happening. I'm not sure if these are happening anywhere else in the world, but at least here in Finland, you have to be conscious about these scam calls because, they easily want access to your bank account and, things like that. So the purpose is, of course, to steal money from you. So again, it is a demonic attack, very typical because, they always want some sort of power and control and energy and money and attention and, things like that. And then you end up feeling drained or you lose money or, things like that. So, yeah. So anyway, it was just another example coming to me. And when I had to intentionally, I had to block that call. I've been blocking those numbers. And again, it's been basically like a job. Like with all of these bully comments and, messages that I've been receiving on social media, and when I've been cyberbullied also before in my life, it's been just, like it becomes a full-time job when you need to be blocking people off and deleting and removing their comments because, they're not serving you. They are what they are. They are abusive. They are negative projections. And you cannot take that. Your health cannot take that. And it's not acceptable. It's not in any way a smart adult's behavior. And so it's crazy when it really becomes this full-time job that you have to be blocking and deleting and removing and cleansing your energies and sending back their energy, and crazy. But it is a clear example of demonic attacks. It is not a curse. It is not black magic. Like, for example, well, if somebody has practiced curses or black magic on you, yes, of course, they can cause negative things to happen. But ultimately, you have the power, and you need to have the power to stop all of those energies reaching you. You have the power to protect yourself. And Jesus and God and your angels and the Holy Spirit and Mother Mary are much more powerful than these negative energies ever will be. They can feel, of course, they can feel very powerful when it's happening to you. For example, you know, if it's too much, like 10 people attacking you, for example, in a day. So yes, of course, yes, it feels draining. It feels very like it's taking over you, and you're like, oh my goodness, like I cannot be myself anywhere. I'm not respected anywhere. I'm just sexually harassed wherever I go. I'm disrespected wherever I go. These people don't honor me. They don't respect me. They don't listen to me. They just want to have their way with me, and they are writing their own stupid negative comments below my authentic posts and videos, for example. So, you know, it's very fraudulent. The energy is very, you know, scammy. And that is what it is. It's basically spam. You know, it is spam because, you know, it's not serving you. It's not authentic. Like, for example, I'm here for my people who are authentic and kind and actually respect what I do and respect me as the being, as a person who I am, and who actually want my help and support. And my intention has never been to be leaking my energy to the wrong people, to some demonic entities. That's not my purpose. So I've been doing everything to study about these things, to understand, to have the clarity, to support myself, and to also that I can talk and I can support my followers and clients. Because, you know, this is no life if you're dealing with these things. So it's crazy that these people act like this, but would they want this kind of treatment to themselves? And they don't understand that when you hurt an earth angel, you hurt a starseed, you hurt a sensitive empath, highly sensitive person, a chosen one, you will get your karma tenfold, multiplied. God will revenge. Universe sees everything. God and universe will revenge, because that is the physical law. You get what you give. So there will be payback. So you cannot mess with a kind person and expecting just to get away with it just like that. So it is very immature. It is such an immature mindset to even think that you can just go around and treat people like this. But, you know, they have their needs, and that is how they operate, and we just have to understand what it is about and not take it seriously. Because when we do take it seriously, it will be causing us more pain and trauma, and it's not worth it. So the thing is that, you know, we're just drawing those healthy boundaries and, you know, saying no and be blocking them off as much as we can. That is the only option. Of course, I always recommend praying because, you know, Jesus is the ultimate savior. So it's not healthy if you're feeling like you're at the end of your rope because you are attacked and bullied so much that these entities, these people just want to be heard and validated so much. So they don't care about you and your health. I was getting such evil comments on my YouTube that, you know, I had no choice but to be disabling those comments, because I could not simply focus on my work, on my videos, on my thoughts, and be who I am if I'm constantly being reminded of my painful past. When I was very bullied, I got very depressed. I was so alone. And to be dealing with narcissistic mother, you know, my narcissistic grandfather, I was so controlled and silenced. So, you know, I'm here on YouTube, on Instagram, on Threads, to support my people, not to be bullied and abused. So you cannot, for example, you cannot say good things about me and my work and then be mean to me and then expect me to help you. Like, I cannot work with anyone like that. And if you don't trust me, then you don't trust me. Then you're not my client. Then bye-bye. So I'm not here to be, you know, bullied in any way or disrespected. This is me. And I am enough as I am. And I've done a lot of work. And I'm a grown woman. So even though I was a child, I would never have bullied anybody. I was not an immature child in that way, because I'm an old soul and I'm an earth angel. So I always just wanted peace and happiness for everyone. Peace and health and happiness. That is all that I ever wanted for everybody. And it was so difficult for me to understand, and it's been a life's work now that I'm over 40. So, you know, it's been such a long, painful journey, and so I have a lot to say. And I just hope that, you know, every single kind, sensitive person could be safe, that every single sensitive child would get the support that they need when they need it, because they deserve it. We deserve so much credit, generally, when we're sensitive and kind women, especially if our narcissistic mothers have been abusing us. Because, you know, it is so deeply traumatizing that it is very difficult to even fathom if you have not experienced that yourself. So many people do not even understand these things because they have no experience. They have no idea. So even if you try to explain it to them, how painful and traumatizing it is, they still will not understand it. And so in its way, it's also enabling. So we cannot be opening up to people like that because it's hurting us. And in the worst case, they are being narcissistic themselves. Like, I have come to witness many times, too many times, that they hurt my trauma when they were supposed to help me. So that is deception and betrayal and narcissistic abuse in its worst. When they first pretend and they are in a position that they should help the trauma victim, but then they fail to do that, and instead they are making your trauma worse. So they are not there to help you and support you. It's all demonic attack. Bullying is demonic. Abuse is demonic. It's not a humane way to act and behave and treat anybody. No matter how many issues somebody has, there is no excuse. There is never no excuse. If you have issues, you need to deal with them, not be hurting other people, especially children, especially sensitive people. You never know how sensitive someone is. You never know what they have already gone through in their lives. So people should stop assuming and start respecting, start learning some freaking manners. Because you are not the only person living in this world. You cannot be selfish and about your own needs. There are other people too. And even more so if you have a life partner and children, or pets, for example, you need to be taking care of them, not abusing them. You need to be, especially if you're a man, you need to be a protector for your family, not an abuser. That is what friendship and parenthood and being a life partner is about. That you love, you care, you understand, you listen, you respect, you communicate, you support those people. You love and care. You don't turn your back and betray and lie and deceive and abuse and bully. You don't put them down. And if you do, you have demonic entities within you, and that is just that. And I'm just so sick of these people, these entities that, they're just writing these bully comments like, oh, my needs and my point of view and my selfishness, I want this, I want that. And they're like questioning you. They're asking you like, why do you do this? Why do you think that way? Why are you like that? They're like provoking you into explaining yourself, into giving them what they want, and like you would be betraying yourself and your own boundaries, because if you engage with them, you will be betraying yourself and your boundaries. You will be betraying your mental and physical health if you give them your attention and energy. They don't deserve that. They do not deserve that. And being a vulnerable person, sensitive, kind person, doesn't mean that you are stupid. It doesn't mean that there is something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you are here to be abused and bullied, like I always say. It doesn't mean that you are here to be taken advantage of, like your opinions and rights don't matter, like your life experiences don't matter. They do matter. You are needed. When you are a sensitive, kind person, you are needed. You are needed. People need you. This world needs you and your healing energy. Your loved ones need you. Your children need you. If you have children, your pets need you. If you have pets, you matter. Even if you think that you don't matter, you do matter. And God has created you to be in this lifetime. You are alive for a reason. God has created you the way you are supposed to be. So these bullies don't deserve any space in your life. And I rest my case.